Well, hello guys, it's David and I'm back with a new video. Now, just as a little disclaimer, this will be the final part of my Experience Working at Chipotle series. I know I cried a little bit earlier, but it's okay, I got y'all. But because I've told y'all like the majority of my experience working at Chipotle in my first two videos, by the way, I'll put the links in the description box of those videos if you haven't already seen them. And because I'm short on time, this video is not going to be that long. But anyways, if you've seen part 2, you'll know that I told a couple stories that went on, you know, during my course of working at Chipotle. But there were a couple that I left out, and I thought it would only be appropriate to make a part 3. So, you know, just to give y'all as much content as possible, because I don't want to leave any details out for y'all. Jumping right into it, towards the end of my month of working there, I had gotten a little sick one morning. I knew I wasn't going to be able to come in that day. So I called up the manager at around 8 a.m., which is around the time that I was supposed to be in, and they were, of course, wondering where I was. I informed them that I was sick. They were upset because it was a little last minute, which I didn't really understand because last time I checked, I didn't get notifications from my immune system telling me when I was going to be sick or not. But that's besides the point. I just ignored them because I didn't have time for this shit. I was already sick, irritated, you know, wasn't even trying to deal with them. And one of the few things, of course, that I recalled from my contract that I signed from working there was that if an employee that worked at Chipotle ever got sick, it was required for them to take exactly 5 days off, which seemed pretty reasonable to me. I mean, you don't want anybody else even getting a little bit sick because when you come back to work, you're supposed to be fully healed and everything. So I was like, okay, I'll go back to work in 5 days, no biggie. But maybe like 3 days into the 5 days, I was feeling much better, but I still wanted to make sure I got the appropriate time off because, I mean, that's what it said in the manual, and I wanted to follow the manual because, you know, I'm trying to keep my job. So one of the employees that worked there called me and was like, David, where have you been? Like, we need you. I mean, I know I'm in demand, but, you know, y'all can wait 2 more days. Plus, I was just following the rules. You know, since when do you get in trouble for following the rules? So the employee who called me was just like, why are you worried about that book? Like, just come back to work. I was like, no, thank you. I think I'm going to take these extra 2 days off, put my feet up, and, you know, listen to what my boss told me. So that caused an issue in itself, and honestly, I didn't know whether that had an impact on me being fired since it happened so close to the actual firing. Hey! But nonetheless, I tried not to let that discourage me too much, and I just moved on. And that was pretty much, you know, the last little funny story that I remember. At this point, I think I'll just throw shade at a couple of people that I used to work with. I won't disclose any names, but just for funsies, I'm going to do that. There was this one cashier who was already there before I started working there. He was like a little ass white boy, maybe like a couple of inches taller than me. Really plain and basic, you know, didn't think much of him. And when I started to get complaints about the way that I was running the cash register during my shifts, I was like, wait a minute, have y'all seen the way this dude is working and you're worried about me? I'm driven, I always have a good attitude, you know, like I was sitting there figuring out, there's so many pros to having me as a cashier. Yeah, I may have lost a little bit of money, but, you know, can't really think of any other cons of me working there. Like, I would have, if I was the manager and I had an exact clone copy of me come in, you know, it would have been no question that they would have gotten the job. But he was so, like, unenthusiastic and just really just boring when he rung on my food. Like, it made me not want to eat there, to be honest, and have to walk in and just see his stank attitude face. Like, whenever he rang on my food, I just felt the urge to immediately go to CVS and pick up some antidepressants for him because he was just in another gray world by himself. On to another girl who worked on the line, you know, preparing food. She was one of the girls who had a little bit of say in like how I was trained, so she showed me a little bit of the things that she thought I was doing wrong, which turned out to be the wrong way. I was actually doing it the right way, so bitch, handle yourself. Towards the beginning of my whole month working there, she was probably the person I didn't like the most. Eventually, I grew to appreciate her and everything, but she just came off as a condescending bitch, if you know what I mean. She was always throwing little shots at me about how young I was, but ho, you're 19, you're a mother, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying, we're working at the same place, so don't act like you're better than me, because you got a man and a kid at home, and you're making as much as me, and I'm only 17, still in high school. I'm in my prime. Where are you? Before you ever try to come at somebody else, just please evaluate yourself. And one more girl. Yo. I'm laughing, but I'm really like, I was about to hit this girl. So maybe like 2 weeks into my working there, when I was just starting to get the hang of things, this girl comes to the back of the restaurant by me when I'm counting up my money and everything. She's introducing herself to everybody, so I'm like, hi, how are you? Like, I'm David, da-da-da-da-da. She seems nice, so I'm like, okay, you know, it's good to have people with good vibes working here. And we didn't really grow like a friendship. It was more of just like acquaintances because we worked in the same place for a little amount of time. We said hey, we had like tiny conversation. But maybe like 2 weeks after I got fired, I distinctly remember going back there, you know, wanting to see who was still working there, who wasn't. She was a cash register, so I was like, okay, like, I see you were trying to get the same position as me. So when I rung up my food, I said, hey, like, how's it going? You know, trying to be polite. This bitch looks at me like she doesn't know who I am. I was 2.5 seconds from snatching that wrap off of her head because that was just so disrespectful. Oh, you know I know, I can't even talk. You know who I am, so I cannot stand people who don't act like I'm not the one who just created this place. Like, girl, I'm the one who attracted all these customers that are in your line. Like, so why are you disrespecting me? But anyways, I'm done with her. I'm done with Chipotle. I'm glad they got infected with E. coli. Every time I go there, I'm gonna be petty and ask, can I get some E. coli on the side with that? Oh, like, wait for the day. The day they go out of business, I will literally rejoice. And at this point, I'm glad I can just, like, freely, like, rant about things that I just think Chipotle is doing wrong. Chipotle, stop making your guac so gray. There was a time where I went into Chipotle, the guac was looking fresh, nice, and green. But recently, I've been walking up in there, and it looks like they just let it sit out for lint to fall on it for like 2 years. And I'm just sitting there like, you want me to pay $1.95 for a quarter of a cup lint and then the rest is guacamole? No thank you. The more and more I sit here trying to figure out how my cash register came up short and caused me to get fired, like, do you ever just feel like you got played? Like, I feel like somebody set me up or somebody was stealing money. You know I sound salty, but like, have you ever thought you did really well on a test, but then you end up getting like a 68? I don't know. That just fucked up my head, and I can only sit here and laugh because, you know, I'm never allowed to work there again. Well, I don't know. Maybe when I move, you know, far, far away, I'll try to work at Chipotle again. Hopefully nobody there sees the video if I even decide to work there again. Because let's be honest, like, where can you find out $9 an hour? Like, not many places. And one positive thing about Chipotle, I did like how you could dress casual. You didn't have to put on like nice khakis, a belt, and dress clothes. Like, you could just wear almost whatever. But that doesn't change the fact that they are a fucked up company. They always want to act like they're, food with integrity and all of our employees have good attitudes. Bullshit. Half of the people I see in Chipotle I want to say hi to, and the other half I wouldn't even look in their direction on the street. But that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. But remember, go watch part 1 and 2 of this epic 3-part like just series. I should have made a series out of this. Like, I don't know. Making these Chipotle's videos is like I can't even talk because I'm so excited. Making these Chipotle videos has been a huge honor. Make sure you share this video every chance you get just to let everybody know the truth about Chipotle, because y'all always know that I'm keeping it real on this channel, straight up. If you would like to see even more of me, I post videos every single Friday, so please make sure to subscribe also. And I will see you guys next time, and I hope this gay made your day.